Combat, I'll take that last little piece, that piece that you thought the world is kind of an okay place. Combat takes that from you, and you'll never get that back.
They lose part of themselves when they go to war, and we just hope that we can help them get all those pieces and parts back together.
A Maryland man has been walking across the country since last year.
9,000 kilometers, 5,800 miles? That's a lot of lonely road out there.
Once you're home, you think it's over. It's just beginning.
You go off to war and you're going to be asked to do unspeakable things. To think that you just went over and did your job, that's pretty ignorant.
I don't think we're looked at as patriots or heroes. I think we're looked at as damaged goods.
Most people, they look at PTSD and they see weakness. It's a survival mechanism. It's what the situations that we were in over there demanded us to behave in a different way.
No one else knows what we went through but them.
Not being able to see these guys or not knowing how they're doing, you tend to lose it. It's hard to communicate.
I was very angry very quickly. And I didn't have any control over where my mind was going or what I was thinking about, and I couldn't stop them from happening.
When John comes, he carries the grief too, but it's like, I'm not the only one. Like, I can share it with him.
These are strong individuals. They're not victims. They're survivors.
Hey, Brian, Jeff in Vegas.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jeff.
Nice to meet you too. Wonderful documentary, man. Really powerful. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you so much for watching it.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Well, Bastards Road, tell me about Jonathan Hancock and his 5,800-mile trek.
So I was actually, John and I went to the same high school. We shared a lot of mutual friends. And I learned about John's walk after he'd already logged almost 1,500 miles. And, he was in some local newspaper articles. He was in some TV reports of the areas that he was walking through. And it just wasn't enough for me. You get a little bit of, like, in 2-3 minutes of those like local news specials, you'll get enough of the story to get the idea of kind of what it is from the outside. But I was so compelled to want to know more. I think out of my own curiosity, not having anybody close to me that was in the military. And since, we were around the same age, we went to the same high school, I just kind of felt like kindred in some ways, like maybe that could have been me in another life. But I came to realize that his closest friend in high school was my next door neighbor, and he got us in touch, and kind of the rest was history.
Well, since you have a past with Jonathan, was there still a difficulty or talk about obtaining his trust to tell his story?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't really meet in high school, so there wasn't really any foundation of a relationship there. It was kind of a referral from a friend, and so. Yeah, there was a little bit of a courting period and kind of learning about each other, sharing, a little bit of myself with him and what I thought was important. And it was like any relationship, it evolves over time. And we had a lot of conversations on the phone, and it starts and it grows. And with a project of this magnitude, I didn't even really consider it being a feature-length thing. I just knew that I just wanted to know more, and if it was going to turn into a project of this scale, I mean, there was going to be a lot of work and a lot of education on my part too.
Yeah, because a 5,800-mile trek. Tell me about the challenges. In documentaries, it's all about capturing the moment. So you're talking almost a 6,000-mile journey. As a filmmaker, were you worried you wouldn't get certain moments, or how did you do the challenges of recording these moments of this journey?
Right. I mean, it was strategic on like when I was going to have the availability to go out there and visit with him. We would identify as like, okay, I've got this block of time, and where are you? Where's the closest airport? And then I would just shove as much gear as I could into a rental car and fly out. He would send me a GPS pin of where he was at. And I would just, in my rental car, just be like kind of traveling down the road, looking for the guy with a Marine Corps flag on his back. And sure enough, within like 10 or 15 miles, he was there.
And his journey was for personal healing, but he impacted fellow veterans and families along his entire journey.
Yeah, yeah, he did. That's kind of where the story to me changed a lot, was when I was introduced to some of his Marine Corps brothers and those family members. I mean, filming John and that relationship, and as it grew, like that was amazing. But I didn't really understand what it was going to require for me to enter their world with this camera, this stranger. And I think it's a testament to the trust they have in that community to let me in. Sorry, hold on one second.
Well,
Life with COVID.
I love it. What I noticed was it important for you as a filmmaker to keep the documentary nonpartisan and non-political?
Yeah, of course.
Because
I wanted to be.
It's easy to see how you could easily, swing that, so it could be very political or.
Sure. I mean, I guess in context of anti-war, but like he was really pro-war. I mean, I understand certain, trends or whatever, but also like even further on top of that, like I just wanted to make sure that my footprint or my kind of opinion wasn't there. I always kind of felt that I can't narrate this. I got to figure out some way of constructing the narrative in a way that my voice or like my thoughts or opinions on it are out. And I don't wanted to stuff it filled with experts on like, hey, this is what John is experiencing, or hey, this is what this is. Like Dustin, who is the only psychologist in the film, is a friend of John. He is somebody that John served with. So there was kind of a reason for him to exist in this world. And his opinion, of course, and his kind of view on what John is going through. I mean, it's from a personal experience, but also a professional one. So, that was obviously an important insight to include in the film.
And of course, I'm sure by the end of this documentary and all the success it's had, you guys remain close friends, or do you stay in contact?
Yeah, we do. It's funny, when John finished the walk, his parents lived not even a mile away from my house. So when he came back, I mean, he sold everything that he had on the walk. When he returned, after he was done, he had kind of stayed with his parents for a little while before he went back to school. And, there was a few month period where we were less than a mile apart, and we saw each other all the time. And it was awesome.
And I would assume at the end of this journey and this documentary and all the publicity around this, is there a call to action? Is there a foundation, or is there something Jonathan has secured for fellow veterans and his plight?
Yeah. So John just recently had his first kickoff hike of his nonprofit Bastards Road project. And John's whole mission statement is kind of just to continue the work that he had done in highlighting these issues and just what he found to benefit himself and taking long hikes and figuring, shit out, which is his nonprofit's tagline. And they are now accepting veterans to come in to programmed hikes. And I'm so thrilled that he is at that point, and he started, continuing that journey on. So that's a really important thing for us to share, is what John's up to with that nonprofit.
And where can viewers find Bastards Road?
So Bastards Road will be released on May 11th on iTunes and probably a lot of other platforms on a purchase or rental basis. And we'll have our pre-sale opening up here in a couple weeks on iTunes.
Excellent. Congratulations on a great documentary. What a great cause and a great story. It makes me want to get up and walk.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate your time.
Take care and good luck with the film.
All right. Take care.